I still remember the exact moment I fell in love with the uniform. It was a warm afternoon in Fort Bragg, the kind where the North Carolina sun paints everything gold. I was 23, freshly married to Ethan, the handsome infantry captain everyone admired. When he walked across the parade field in his dress blues, I swear my heart stopped. That crisp beret, those polished boots, the way he saluted. It felt like I'd married a hero straight out of a movie. People said we were the perfect military couple. I wore my Army wife title like a crown. I organized the family readiness group, baked cookies for deployments, held crying wives while their husbands were gone, and counted down the days until Ethan came home from every tour. I believed in the brotherhood, the oaths, the honor. I believed in him. We had been married 4 years when he got selected for a special assignment, something classified, something important. He couldn't tell me details, only that he'd be working closely with a small, tight-knit team. "It's career-making, babe," he whispered one night, kissing my forehead. "When this is over, they'll pin major on me early. Then we're set for life." I was so proud, I cried. He started coming home later, sometimes not at all. There were sudden training weekends, encrypted phones he kept face down, new passwords on everything. I told myself it was normal, secret stuff, high stakes. I trusted the man I'd promised forever to. But what I didn't know that day was that the secret he was hiding wasn't about the mission. It was about her. Sergeant First Class Kayla Reed, young, stunning, and assigned to the same covert unit. I'd met her once at a unit hail and farewell. Bright smile, firm handshake, called me ma'am with perfect respect. She seemed harmless. I never imagined she was already sleeping in my bed while I was planning his welcome home banner. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday. I was doing laundry, yes, even officers' wives do laundry, and found a long auburn hair on his PT shirt. My hair is dark blonde. I laughed it off, maybe from a female soldier during training. Things like that happen. But then the perfume started lingering. Expensive, floral, not mine. Lipstick on a coffee mug that wasn't my shade. Late night texts he silenced the second I walked into the room. I confronted him gently one night. "Ethan, talk to me. You seem distant." He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Baby, this job is eating me alive. I'm protecting you by not dragging you into it. Trust me." So I did. I swallowed the doubt. I smiled harder. I kept being the perfect wife. Until everything changed. I had a miscarriage at 10 weeks. No one knew except my mother and Ethan. I was devastated, curled up in bed, bleeding, broken. Ethan was away on a field op. I called and called. No answer for 2 days. When he finally walked through the door, he smelled like her perfume. That's when I knew. I waited until he fell asleep, took his work phone, the one he swore was government property and I wasn't allowed to touch, and entered the passcode we'd used since we met. Our wedding date. Big mistake, Ethan. Hundreds of messages, photos, videos. For 8 months, he and Kayla had been carrying on right under my nose. Hotels paid for with government travel cards, nooners in the team office, even in our house while I was at FRG meetings. There were texts laughing about how clueless I was, calling me the boring wife, planning a future together after he left me. I sat on the bathroom floor at 3 a.m. reading it all, tears dripping onto the screen. My marriage wasn't just broken. It had been murdered, slowly, deliberately, with every "I love you" he said to my face while texting her under the table. But the worst part, the absolute worst, they weren't just cheating. They were stealing, using classified travel funds for their hookups, falsifying records, putting soldiers at risk for their selfish little fantasy. He didn't just betray me, he betrayed every single person who ever saluted him. That night, something inside me shattered, then hardened into something colder, sharper. I didn't scream. I didn't slap him awake. I didn't beg or plead. I became a ghost. For weeks, I played the grieving, docile wife. I cooked his favorite meals. I left sweet notes in his go bag. I smiled while gathering evidence. Screenshots, hotel receipts, voice recordings of him bragging on the phone to her. Every lie, every dollar, every risk to national security, I documented. Quietly, meticulously. Then I walked into the base IG office and handed over a flash drive thick enough to bury them both. The investigation was swift and brutal. Adultery in the military? Serious. Misuse of government funds? Career-ending. Fraternization across the chain of command while handling classified ops? Federal crime. Ethan was stripped of his clearance the same week. Kayla broke down crying information when the MPs cuffed her. At his court-martial, I sat in the front row, dressed in black, calm, composed. When they asked if the wife of the accused had anything to say, I stood up and looked him in the eye for the first time in months. I trusted you with my heart, I said, voice steady. You swore an oath to this country. You broke them both. He couldn't even meet my gaze. He lost his rank, his pension, his freedom. 11 years in Leavenworth. Kayla got 8. Their perfect little future turned prison jumpsuits. People asked if the revenge felt sweet. It didn't. It felt quiet, like exhaling after holding your breath for years. I divorced him from a courtroom gallery, sold the house, took my maiden name back, and somewhere along the way, I found peace. Not because they suffered, but because I stopped letting their poison live inside me. Ladies, if you take anything from my story, let it be this. Betrayal doesn't define you. Staying silent does. Never be afraid to expose the truth, even when it's ugly, even when it's painful, even when the whole world tells you to keep it in the family. Because some secrets aren't meant to be kept. They're meant to be brought into the light and burned away. I'm not the same woman who once ironed dress blues with stars in her eyes. I'm stronger. I'm free. And I finally sleep through the night.